Imagine you could bring some of your fondest childhood memories back to life. For me, those memories might include those hot summer days I spent in the public swimming pool with my friends and family, timing who can stop their breath underwater the longest, on my Casio F91W, my first watch. But this story isn't about me. This story is about an 11-year-old boy named Jay who spent his summer days in a different country with a different watch on his wrist. Years went by and that boy grew up to be a businessman, engaged in business all around the world as businessmen do. That boy, who grew up to be a man, never forgot that watch he had as a kid, and the warm feeling it gave him deep inside. The company who made that watch was long out of business, so the boy, who grew up to be a man, a businessman, decided to take it upon himself to revive the brand and make his beloved watch make a comeback. And thus, the name Sheffield Allsport was brought to life. Again. Hi guys, welcome to my affordable watch collection. My name is Aviv, and today we are going to take a look at one man's passion project. This is the Sheffield Allsport 1, an affordable dive watch that seems to be experiencing tremendous success in the past few months. This watch was sent to me for free for review and I do get to keep it. If you know me, you know I always do my best not to let it affect my judgment, and I don't hold any criticism back when it's due, regardless of how I get my watches for review. The Allsport is offered with either a grey or a blue dial, a stainless steel bezel with no insert, or one with an aluminum insert. And there's even a choice between a right-handed and a left-handed crown. The price, get this, is only $108. Let's see what this kind of money can get you. The watch comes in this little velvet pouch, which is great for when you're traveling, but also excels in not taking up unnecessary closet space. Here are the measurements. The width of the case is 40 mm and it is 13 mm thick. The distance between the lugs is 20 mm, lug tip to lug tip is 48 mm, and it is water resistant to 200 meters. The dial is a nice shade of grey with a matte finish. It seems to be sunken pretty deep into the case, which gives it a feeling of depth. A simple minute track is printed in white around the edge of the dial, and the indices are all applied, highly polished and filled with lume. A shield shape marks the 12 o'clock position, batons mark the 3, 6 and 9, and circle indices mark all other hours. There's no date complication present on the dial, just the way I like it. Sheffield Allsport is printed under the 12 o'clock marker, WR 200 atmospheres is printed above the 6, and Miyota 2035 is printed on both of its sides. Including the movement's reference number right on the dial is a bit of a bold choice, especially when it's a rather simple one, not to say cheap. We'll talk a bit more about this quartz sticker in a minute or two. All in all, I think it's a well-balanced dial, nicely symmetrical. The hands used on the Allsport 1 are pretty cool and unique. I don't think I ever saw this specific handset used on any other watch before. The minute hand is a rather simple pencil-style hand with a narrow base, but the hour hand is sort of an arrowhead-style hand that reminds me of a firework cracker. The seconds hand breaks the monochromaticity of the dial with a brilliant splash of red color. All three hands feature lume on their centers, as you would expect to see on a diver. Covering the dial is a flat piece of sapphire crystal, and though Jay doesn't state it on the product page, it seems to have some blue-tinted anti-reflective coating applied to it. The case is made of 316L stainless steel, and I'm sure you can agree it looks very familiar. Over the years, this Submariner-esque design has probably been one of the most popular ones when it comes to dive watches. It features rather simple finishing, brushed upper sides of the lugs, and polished sides. The lugs do slope down slightly, and have drill holes for easy strap change. A large and unsigned crown is tucked snugly between the crown guards at the 3 o'clock position. It screws down and is easy to grip and operate. Some branding on the crown could have been nice, though not something you would necessarily expect to see on a budget piece. The bezel is made of stainless steel too, and has a bit blasted finish and deep knurling for great grip. It houses a brushed aluminum bezel insert with engraved and loom-filled dive time markings. This is a 90-click unidirectional bezel, and it operates nice and tactile. It doesn't bounce up and down or from side to side, and there's no backplay either, which is good. But the bad news is that, at least on the unit I have here, it doesn't align perfectly with the markings on the dowel. This is often the case with 90-click bezels. I always like seeing a fully loomed bezel. According to Jay, the Allsport features Japanese C3 loom on the dowel and bezel insert, and Swiss Superluminova on the hands. Funnily enough, the Swiss loom on the hands seems to fade out quicker than the Japanese one on the rest of the watch. It is pretty good for a watch at this price point, living up to the expectations you would have of a dive watch. Round the back we find a screw-down case back, Rolex style. It reads Sheffield Allsport Diver on its brushed center, and the watch's specs and information on the polished circle surrounding the center. The movement proudly advertised on the dial, the Miyota 2035, is a veteran quartz movement made by Citizen's subsidiary. And when I say veteran, I mean veteran. In 2021, the 2035 celebrated 40 years of manufacturing, with hardly any changes done to it. Make of it what you will, to me it means it is good enough to be left unchanged for all these years. It's a cost-effective movement for sure, a three-hander with no date or any other complication, with a stated accuracy of plus to minus 20 seconds per month. Now the strap this watch comes on is surprisingly good. This is a Tropic FKM rubber strap that is very soft and limber. It features quick-release spring bars, 2 matching keepers, and a brushed and unsigned stainless steel buckle. A good FKM rubber strap could alone cost you over $40, so seeing one on a watch at this price point is pretty darn good. On my 7-inch wrist, the Allsport wears like any 40mm Submariner style watch wears, and that's a good thing. This is a classic dive watch that would fit many different wrist sizes. Despite being 13mm thick, I think it looks slimmer on wrist thanks to a relatively slim profile. The strap is very comfortable. FKM rubber is such a great material for watch straps, and if you haven't yet tried one on, I highly recommend that you do. Legibility is very good, there are no complaints on that front. And with 20mm lug width and a neutral grey dial, I think you'll find that this watch is quite the strap monster. It looks great on many different straps, especially ones with some red accents that complement the second hand. Moving on to the pros and cons, pros first. I think the fact that Jay keeps selling out batch after batch of these watches speaks for itself, especially with hardly any PR or promotions. Its popularity seems to spread like wildfire, traveling through word of mouth among watch enthusiasts who are buying it simply because they like what they see and appreciate the value proposition. For a very competitive price, you get a 200 meters water-resistant dive watch with vintage aesthetics, an AR-coated sapphire crystal, a stainless steel case with both a screw-down crown and a screw-down case back, a very good quality strap, nice loom, and a tap into one man's dream of reviving his childhood memories. If you take a look at some of the videos on my channel, you'll find that many Chinese brands manage to offer similar value and specs for similar money. That's true. But this watch, I think, offers something that many of those mostly homage watches don't, and that's a soul. I especially love the applied indices, the added pop of color of the red seconds hand, and the choice to include drilled lugs. With all that being said, this is not a perfect watch. On an aesthetic standpoint, I feel like the hands could use a little bulking up. And when it comes to functionality, that misaligned 90-click bezel is bound to be a deal breaker for some of you watching this video. In the description of this video, you'll find a link to Sheffield Watch's website, where you can check the Allsport line out for yourselves, together with some newer models Jay released. like this super cool Allsport Diver 1A, an automatic watch that is truer in design to the original Sheffield Diver of the 1960s and 70s. Let me know what you guys think by dropping a comment below. As for me, I can really see a bright future for this one-man show passion project. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my affordable watch collection, and hit the notification bell for more affordable watches related content. You can also follow me on Instagram and get to know me and my collection a little bit better, get all the news about the channel, and connect with me on a more personal level. If you've enjoyed this video, you might enjoy one of these too as well. I want to thank Jay for sending this watch in for review, and to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next time.